Eastern suburbs, red, white, and blue, we're flying high. Sydney Roosters reach the sky. Eastern suburbs. We took flight. Come on. Born in Bondi, southern skies ignite. From the east, our spirits rise. Red, white, blue, our story told. From nothing we rose, made our claim. Eastern pride, we built our name. Stronger now, we never fall. Rooster spirit standing tall. Yeah, come on, feel that pride. Let's go. Since the start, the legacy lives. Power, the heartbeat gives. Red and blue, we walk with pride. Fears by sight, can't hide our vibe. Flags up high, crowd in sync. Roosters rule, we never blink. Eastern suburbs. Eastern suburbs. Red, white, and blue, we're flying high. Sydney Roosters reach the sky. Eastern suburbs, Roosters! Get up! Feel that pride! Grand on fire, glory set. Fighting with fire, no regrets. Yeah! Every tackle, every try, hit hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. Hainsey here, and we are here to talk about one thing and one thing only. The most talked about player in the NRL, most rumoured around the entire season, has officially come true. We can stop speculating. We can stop asking the question. It's officially done. As of this morning, Daly Cherry Evans officially signed with the Sydney Roosters on a one-year deal with a player option in 2027. Obviously, you guys saw this morning I gave you my initial thoughts on it, but I wanted to come on here and, discuss it with you guys and ask for your thoughts on the decision. I'm just trying to find the club statement from the Roosters and other reports I've got in my camera roll at the moment, and we'll discuss it with you guys today. So we'll obviously speak with you guys, obviously give you my thoughts. I actually want to hear your thoughts today, guys. I've got some questions on the Instagram, that a lot of them, so we'll be answering them. So over the next 45 minutes to an hour. So, and obviously some more news around Hugo Savala now that it's come out that DCE has signed. But yeah, really wanting to hear your thoughts today. So thank you for everyone who is tuning in so far. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the Sydney Roosters Diehards, and chuck us a follow on the Instagram as well, where you see your latest up-to-date Roosters news and opinions. Got a few in the live chat here. We got Jake. You asked me this question yesterday. I saw the reel on the YouTube reel. When are we going to find out? It's now official. And he says we can move on with our lives finally. And Jason Reeder isn't here as well. Great to have you, Jason, as well. Right, let's get into it. DCE signs with the Roosters. I've got the official statement from the Roosters here. Sydney Roosters are pleased to announce the signing of Daly Cherry Evans for the 2026 NRL season. Premiership winning halfback and former Queensland Maroons captain Daly Cherry Evans joins the Roosters following an illustrious career spanning over 352 NRL games to date for the Manly Warringah Seagulls, with 350 between 2011 and 2025. Roosters head coach Trent Robertson welcomed Cherry Evans to the club. Daly's experience and understanding of the game will be a strong addition to our group, and we're excited to welcome him to the Roosters. I'm looking forward to working with him, he added. Cherry Evans will officially join the Roosters later this month, like pre-season, in a couple of weeks or time. So there it is. Daly Cherry Evans is officially a Rooster. Look, I think the first thing out of the bat is that I'm just glad that it's out there now. Like I said this morning, I'm glad that it's out there now. There's been so much speculation since probably round 3 this year that Daly Cherry Evans was linked with the Roosters and so much media talk and obviously speculations and rumors and all that kind of stuff. It was doing my head in, to be honest with you guys. But just glad now that it's out the way. We've announced it. He's here. Obviously, we're going to have this little bit of a period where we're going to be discussing it, whether we like it, dislike it. Media's going to be talking about it. And then once he arrives, get into the preseason, and focus in the job at hand, because, the way that this signing has gone about is the fact that we're here to win a comp in either 2026 or 2027. It's a risk, it's a gamble to do this, but you can see why we've done it. We're trying to win a premiership next year or in 2027, and we've gone out for the best player in the open market. And Daly Cherry Evans has over 350 plus games of first grade experience, is going to bring that. I'm still, still got mixed feelings about it. I've never really been a fan of Daly Cherry Evans, as a player, because, obviously Queensland captain, Manly, as a New South Welshman, I'm not really a fan of a Queensland captain. I think that's just pretty standard. If you're a New South Welshman, you don't really like the Queensland captain. So obviously got to, had these feelings in the past about him, but obviously he's here now. He's a Rooster, so got to, swallow a little bit of your thoughts and, get behind him, because he's going to be wearing our colours come, early at the end of the month, and obviously wear the tricolours on the field in round 1 next year. So, feel like you're objected to do so as a Roosters fan. He's now at my club. I've got to support him. And obviously a lot of people don't like or dislike the decision, and that's totally your opinion, and you guys are entitled to it. And I actually want to hear your thoughts tonight. I want to actually hear your thoughts on the decision, whether you like it or not, because we just, have a discussion with you guys, because it's a pretty big signing. Obviously, signing a 350 plus veteran from Manly, it's a big deal. We've signed a premiership winning halfback who's a former Queensland captain. It's a big deal. And obviously there's a lot of speculations about where to next with Hugo Savala and all that kind of stuff. I want to hear your thoughts on it. So, but my thoughts initially is that I'm just glad it's out the way. We've got the signing done. Let's just rip in. He's a Rooster now, whether we like it or not. We've got to support him because he's now wearing our colours. So I feel like that we, objected to do so. So really excited for what's ahead. And obviously very, very interested to hear your thoughts. But, you can just tell that it's a big decision going forward, especially with the fact that he's now here. Where do we go from here? The Roosters, it's pretty clear that we're trying to win a comp next year. We haven't won a comp in 6 years. We've been, never really been in it in the last couple of seasons. So this is the year. Next year, it feels like identified as the year that, obviously with even though we've got a good young squad at the moment, but we got some senior members in the late stages of the career, in particular Tedesco and Daniel Tupou. Nick Politis wants one more premiership before he sets sail into retirement. Trent Robinson would love to see him win another premiership. But so that's what they've gone out and done. They've gone out and done. They've gone and seen that there's a 350 plus game veteran from Manly on the open market. The Roosters have snatched him up. If you look in the past, we've signed Cooper Cronk, worked. The Broncos, they signed Adam Reynolds, who was, mid-30s. They signed Ben Hunt this year. They won a premiership this year. So there's evidence that it works. And like I originally said on the Saturday, last Saturday on our first stream, what were my thoughts on it and why I agreed with it. It's 350 plus games of experience there in your club. And it's just it's going to be beneficial to the rest of the playing group. Has to be. So, and I'm glad that it's now out of the bag. It's out there. Everyone knows that he's coming. There's going to be this little honeymoon period right now where we're just going to have, a bombardment of fans and, and thoughts and all this stuff. So to get just to get it out of the way now, sure. I'm glad it's done. I'm glad he's here. It's signed. Let's just get on the job at hand. Pre-season, they go back on Monday. A lot of talk about it then. But, you know, it is a difficult situation for Roosters fans in particular who aren't a fan of it. Like I said, I'm on the fence, eh? Like, I can see why this is beneficial, why I don't think this is beneficial. But, you know, it's a gamble, it's a risk to do so. If we don't win a comp in the time of the Roosters, what was the point of this? That's my biggest issue about it, is that what is the biggest point? What is the point of signing DCE when we let go Sandon Smith, we let go potentially Hugo Savala might be looking elsewhere. We let them two go, right? And DCE doesn't deliver and win as a comp. What was the point? That's my biggest issue on this. But I can still see the pros of why this is going to work. Like DCE, 350 plus games of experience, Queensland captain, right? And you take it back for a step and you look at our spine for 2026. Tedesco, Reece Robson at 9, our halves of Sam Walker and Daly Cherry Evans. It is a premiership winning spine, not to mention a veteran winger in Daniel Tupou, the winger of the year, one of the best wingers ever in a rookie season. Martin Awanganitawase. Billy Smith, another year of preseason. Robert Toya, debut season, played Queensland, played for Tonga. Rookie of the year, not center of the year, I don't think. Anyway. Then one of the best 4-packs in the comp. So we got a good side, and we have a side to win the comp next year. We've got to get it together, you know, and guide us through a premiership. And DCE could be that guy. He could be the thing that gets us, that unlocks the premiership, potentially. I'm legitimately curious who runs the side, him or Walker. It's Sam Walker's team. Like, it has to be. I don't think the club are going to say, hey, this is DCE's side now. Like, I think he's there to guide Sam Walker. He's just going to be a game manager. Sam Walker is going to be that spark, the guy that's going to create points. DC is going to be the guy that's just going to conduct around the park, similar to Hugo Savala this year, and just, you know, kick the ball in the right areas, game manage a team, like game manage, you know, important situations of a game. Like in the crunch, I mean, let's face it, like there were so many games this year where we were leading in the last 15, 20 minutes and we found a way to lose those games. But having a guy like DCE can just cool, calm, collective and guide us home in big games. He can be that guy that can do it. So that's why I'm on the fence with it. I can see what you guys are saying, and I agree what you guys are saying with, I don't think this will work. This will work. So that's why I'm like, I agree what you guys are saying, because they are both, on either side, legitimate points. DC couldn't win second premiership with the Roosters. What is this? Second premiership. What makes you think he will win Roosters a premiership? Like I said, like 350 plus games of experience, you know, at your club is going to benefit your club, regardless of whether you like him or not. Like I said, I was never really a fan of DCE, but I can see the benefit of having him in the club. Like, look at Cooper Cronk. Like, look how that turned out. I know it's completely different too, completely different players, but you can see that they're going to try and recreate what we were able to do 5-6 years ago. But, and I think that everyone's going to be going, oh, but he's washed, he's past it and all that. Look, I think that the fact that this whole thing really took a toll on him last year, and it had a toll on Manly. So I can see where you guys are coming from with that, but I generally think that DCE will play a different type of player. You know what I'm saying? Like at the Roosters, I reckon he will be a different player from what he was at Manly. I think that it could be the most, you know, it could work out for both sets of parties, eh? To everyone involved, I generally think this could work in the way you see it, right? DCE played 15 years at Manly, right? And it wasn't, you know, there was bumps along the way, and obviously in his final season, there was a lot of stuff that went wrong, where Manly missed the 8. There was a lot of talk about DCE, but in the way he was playing, how he was, you know, starting to get old, kind of stuff. But maybe he's under a lot of pressure to deliver for Manly now. Maybe still, he was definitely under a lot of pressure at the Roosters, but clean slate, new club, New horizon, can always work out to be the best. Like, look at Ben Hunt. Like, Ben Hunt was playing well at the Dragons, right? He only played the finals once. Comes back at the Broncos, hit the ground running, and won a premiership. So you can see that there's evidence of this working. So, and let's face it, the Roosters are a better side than Manly. No disrespect to Manly fans, but the Roosters got a better side on paper. And yes, paper compared to the talent, right? On paper compared to actual results is completely different. But it is. You got the fact of the matter is that like we have a better side to accommodate Daly Cherry Evans. Rather Senator Smith, to be honest, says Aussie Mozzie. Jake says Cooper was a comp winner. Yeah, 100%. Like Cooper Cronk was he won like 6 premierships. It was ridiculous, right? But like you can see the similarities of it. DC is a game winner. He is a game winner. He wins games for me. Like he's hit the most field goals in the NRL history. Game winner. He's delivered on so many occasions for Queensland, delivered on so many occasions for Manly. So you see why we've done it. It's a risk though, because if it pays off, it pays off. It's a masterstroke. But if it doesn't, we're gonna have egg on our face. And considering the fact that we've had a lot of scrutiny about our decision makings and recruitment wise over the last couple of seasons, if it doesn't work out, it's going to be another egg in our face. So it's ballsy, but I like it. I like that. We're not here just to make up the numbers. We're here to win a comp, and if the club feels like the DC is the guy to do it, let's get behind him. Let's support him. So look, between now and until round 1 next year, you guys have your feelings about it, and by all means, have them. Like if you guys are like myself on the fence, or you don't like the decision, get this out now, right? And then come round 1, go right. He's a Rooster. Let's get behind him. Let's support him because he's wearing our colours. That's what I would say on that. About if you guys aren't a fan of Daly Cherry Evans, and look at the end of the day as well. That the fact that I think the good news is for us though, if let's just say if it does come out true, well not true, but like if first part of the season, he's slow to get going. You can see there's a bit of evidence that a bit of old age, not up to it, like a Chad Townsend was this year. We bring him back Hugo Savala, a guy that is trusted and knows what he's doing. So, and we will speak about Hugo Savala because there's been some comments that he's made. Obviously about his future as well. So we'll get to that and we'll discuss him with you guys shortly. But, and obviously him around the coaching side, around the club, developing Hugo, developing Toby Rodwell, it's going to, like I said, it's going to benefit and Sam Walker, it's going to benefit the side going forward long term. But in the meantime, his knowledge and experience is going to help the younger players. And on top of that, he's going to guide this side along with Sam Walker, and to potentially win a premiership next season or in 2027. What are you guys' thoughts on the player option as well? If it was 1 year, perfect. But the player option has really got me concerned about the future of Hugo Savala. But I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. Only win a premiership with Manly. Yeah, true. But hadn't made a prelim since 2021, so... Still a premiership winner. Regardless of what he's done in his career, he's a premiership winner. Granted, 15 years ago, but still premiership winner. No, in 350 plus games of experience. That's what I'm keep going on about. What about Robson? Do you like that signing? I do. I'm a big fan of the Reece Robson signing. Jake Friend was trying to relate to Jake Friend here. He was an incredible signing, incredible player, I should say. And I can see the similarities of Reece Robson as a defensive hooker, plays big minutes, controls both sides of the ruck really, really well, good ball service, and solid in defense. And a crafty hooker like Jake Friend. It's not all about the individual brilliance. It's just doing the shit work, like doing the work that we don't want to do, but he does it anyway. Absolutely love Reece Robson at our club. So yeah. Absolutely a big fan of Reece Robson. Incumbent New South Wales hooker. God, our side's going to look stacked next year. So I'm really hopeful that we win the comp next year, and we're definitely in that race to win the premiership. I was hoping there was a press conference announcing this instead of just a social post. Yeah, I think that was always expected. But bit of a shock on a Friday morning. What a weird time to do it Friday morning. But regardless of press conference and all that, I think they'll have a press release when he arrives for preseason training. And then we'll obviously so the media can have their bloody 5 seconds of fame and try and answer all the big questions and barrage the club. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. He should be doing what Cronk did and retire from rep footy. Makes the Roosters number one focus. I don't even think that he's going to be in the setup for the Queensland side next year. Dearden and Munster is the future at the moment, at the moment for Queensland. So I don't think he has any. I don't think he'll be anywhere near the conversation for an Origin call up next season. If anything, if there's going to be any Roosters half that's going to be in the question for an Origin call up, will be Sam Walker, not Daly Cherry-Evans. So I think and especially if Tedesco doesn't get picked for New South Wales, we're going to have our spine of potentially, going to have Teddy, potentially Sam Walker, Daly Cherry-Evans, and Reece Robson if he gets picked for New South Wales, and then if not, play Connor Watson or Benila Elo. So we're still going to have a spine intact during the Origin period. So, I think his full focus will be on the Roosters 100%. Are you going to cheer DCE on? Yeah, I have to, Michael. He's a Roosters fan. He's a Roosters player now. And as a Roosters fan, you've got to. Yeah, I've had mixed feelings about DCE in the past. Like, I've never really been a fan of him. Obviously, Queensland former Queensland captain, right? As a New South Welshman, like, I'm born to hate Queensland. And he's the captain of the team I hate. Like, of course I'm not going to like the guy. And he plays for Manly, and everyone doesn't like Manly. So it's pretty easy to hate a guy like Daly Cherry-Evans in the past. Obviously, Roosters fans who remember, like, the 2013 grand final when Daly Cherry-Evans won the Clive Churchill medal in a losing effort. There was a lot of – I think there was a lot of when the Roosters fans actually didn't like DCE because of that, right? But, so as a Rooster New South Welshman, right, I've never really had feelings towards Daly Cherry-Evans ever. Like, it's sort of like I've never really liked him as a footballer. I like him. I do like and respect him as a footballer. But now that he's a Rooster, you're objected to. You're obliged to do so. You've got to. He's a Rooster. He's going to be wearing our colours. What kind of a fan are you if you're not supporting a player that wears our colours, right? And I see stuff, I saw stuff today where, about, people liking or disliking the decision and all that. And that's fine, but, come round one, just get behind him, And it's obviously going to be easier if you're a Queensland-based Roosters fan, or you support Queensland and you're a Rooster. It's going to make it so much easier, right? Because you supported Queensland and he was a former Queensland captain. You obviously would have supported him during Origin. So that makes it so much easier for you guys, right? But for us as New South Welshmen, we got to start to we've got to swallow a bit of pride as a New South Welshman and now support him because he plays for our club. You've got to swallow what you've said in the past, and yeah, he's a Rooster player now. He wears our colours. I think he deserves 100% our support, whether you liked him or not in the past. So, I think it'd be different it'd be the same if we signed a Jerome Luai, and if you're a Queenslander, seeing Jerome Luai in your colours and when you've bagged the shit out of him in the past as a New South Welshman, with all the stuff with DCE at Origin and then obviously with, the stuff with Reece Walsh and the head, and how all the stuff with Jerome Luai in the past, and then he signs with the Roosters. I'm sure the Tigers fans, if you're a Queensland-based Tigers fan, you'd definitely be like, oh, Luai in the past obviously played for Penrith and all that, but then you come on board and he starts to play well, then you start to be a fan of him. It'd be the same thing here. So, So obviously it's quick. You got to adjust to it, and obviously I'm a little bit. I was sort of prepared for. I think I was glad the fact that we were sort of prepared for this. It was a bit of a shock then, because it wasn't really a shock. It come out for the last 6 months. So, but yeah, everyone has different opinions and everyone has different feelings about this whole situation, and it's totally fine, guys. So I'm not gonna judge you for what your opinions are, but I just thought I wanted to express my opinions about the whole thing. So. He did get a lot of hate. Yeah, but it was because he was, not because, like I said, I've never met Daly Cherry Evans whatsoever. Like, I'm sure he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong, but like, it was just the fact that, like, as a New South Welshman, he's a Queenslander, former Queensland captain. Like, in what world am I going to say, oh, I like you, DCE? Like, you're a fan favourite from the New South Welshman's point of view. No. We're going to hate him. He's a Queenslander. But now he's at the Roosters. You've got to swallow what your pride a little bit. You feel like you're definitely objected to. And as a Roosters fan, you've got to, be the bigger person and go, he's a Rooster now. He's at our club whether you like it or not. We've got to support him because he now wears our colours. So that's what I would say about it. It's going to be funny seeing Roosters fans cheering on DCE. It's going to feel, it feels strange. It feels strange because, like, that's what I'm like. That's why I was sort of on the fence of him being here. I was like, I never really liked him, man. Like, I've been a guy that's hated DCE throughout his playing career. Now he's at our club. Like, I feel torn about it, but you've got to be the bigger person. And as a Roosters fan, you feel like that, the club that you support, he now plays for the club that I support. You've got to support him. That's the way I see it. He's going to get a lot of hate from Manly fans, not all. Yeah, like, he's going to get a lot of hate from Manly fans because it's the way he went about the decision. He told the club he was leaving. He denied, and obviously, obviously, and just remember, guys, like, we're not a like club either in the bigger picture. Like, everyone hates the Roosters, and especially Manly. Manly and the Roosters have a big rivalry. Like, stretches back to the 70s and 80s. So, obviously with, the likes of in the past, Bob Fulton, Paul Fulton, they're Manly legends that, they play for the Roosters. So, there's a lot of hate towards the Roosters and Manly and East back in the day. So, obviously, Manly fans are gutted at the fact that, their club legend, he's the most capped player ever at Manly, walk out, not re-sign a new deal, and now sign with, one of the most unlikable clubs, apparently, because, apparently we're not really liked because of how successful we are. Anyway, besides the point. But it's something they're going to get used to. And I really hope, and this is a message to the NRL, please, for the love of God, play Manly and Roosters round 1 at Brookvale Oval. That'd be absolute cinema. I really hope they do that. Jake says he can kick goals too. Always good to have options. Oh, yeah, yes. Obviously, Sam Walker will be our main goal kicker without a shadow of a doubt. But, we've really lacked, quality goal kickers in the last couple of seasons, right? I remember, like, 20, like, if you guys remember the 2018 prelim, Latrell was out with suspension, right? We had Takiaho goal kicking, missed every conversion that night. Ever since Latrell left, there was like a 2-year period where we were shot with goal kickers. We had Tedesco goal kicking, he was absolutely terrible. But the fact that we've got Sam Walker, who's improved his goal kicking massively, has definitely helped us long term as well with the goal kicking. It's going to be a bigger rivalry next year between Manly and the Roosters. Roosters Manly. Oh yeah, by far, it'll be the biggest draw card of the season, and especially like if you look at in the past, right, of big games, and unfortunately in 2020. The fact that it was COVID affected really spoiled the fact that the Roosters South was going to be the biggest game with Latrell going to South, right? But like you look at the draw cards, especially in the past, right? Roosters, Bulldogs, in 2013 was the biggest draw card when the fixture went out because Sonny Bill Williams walked out on the Dogs, time with the Roosters, first game between Roosters and the Dogs, and it was absolute cinema that night. I can't really remember much between the Roosters and the Storm in 2018. Obviously, I think it was in Adelaide, and then Melbourne won that game, which is just stupid. That was in Adelaide. Had to be in Amy Park or the old Allianz. But I'm sure, obviously, when Lockie Galvin departed the Tigers, went to the Bulldogs, that was the biggest draw card already. Like midway through the season, everyone's like, "Nah, Dogs Tigers at CommBank Stadium on that Sunday afternoon." Yeah, was the biggest draw card, and I'm sure Manly fans will be looking at the draw when it comes out and be eyeing off when they play the Roosters because they want to have a piece of their mind about Daly Cherry Evans at the Roosters. So it's going to be cinema. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for the draw to be announced. Can't wait for sure. Willie Mason's best game for the Roosters was against the Dogs. Yeah, was too. He was a tough player. Big Willie. Good fella too. Met him at Madrid, a really good fella. Okay, well, on here I've got some. So on my broadcast channel on excuse me, one of those days. Obviously on the broadcast channel, I asked your guys' opinions on about the DCE signing, and I've also put it in the poll for you guys. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to fix my light. It does that. See, like, I don't have like an artificial light. I got these. These are fucking good. Don't even know where I. We are. Let there be light. I'm just gonna put there so you guys can see me all. I need to charge them. I'm gonna go through 2 of them already. But all right. I want to go through everyone that has gone through in my responses to my question on my broadcast channel. If you feel like, but yeah, anyway, let's get through them. We've got a couple here to go through. Byron.Scott1, feeling Cooper Cronk vibes back-to-back incoming. Again, very similar. Like I said, a lot of similarities to this, to when we signed Cooper Cronk back in 2018-19. Different player, yes, but same time, 100% can see the similarities and why the Roosters were definitely intrigued to do so, to follow that and repeat of what of when we signed Cronk. So hopefully the Roosters are able to repeat that. But yeah, definitely got that feel about it. Maxi_14_1999. I don't like it. I never will like it. It's ruining momentum of Savala, who I feel bad for. DCE hasn't been great. Robbo will struggle with him. A very, very solid point there, Mac. And like I said, I am 100% agreeing with what you guys are saying, both if you guys are against it or with it. I 100% see the logic behind your reasoning. So, obviously, one of the main things that I was concerned about when the DC stuff was going around was like, what's with Hugo Savala now? And the biggest concern now is like we've let Sandon Smith go, and potentially Hugo Savala might follow suit. And the fact that if we don't win a comp with DCE and Hugo leaves, Sandon Smith leaves, it's going to rub egg. There's going to be egg thrown at us from miles away. Egg on our face as a club. So, like I said, it is a risk to do so. But, and I know DCE hasn't been great this season for Manly, but, optimistic, who knows? Maybe a fresh start could be the best thing he needs. So, it's time to wait and see. But I do agree what you're trying to say, Maxi. So thank you for your comment. Cam_Whaley says, I think he's a great player, but coming in too late. He already have heaps of new talent. I think he might end up like Chad did. Yeah, like obviously Chad signing for this season wasn't like the thing like with Chad Townsend though that he was never really expected to play a lot of first grade last season. That wasn't the original plans of Chad Townsend. It was until Sam Walker did his ACL a week out from finals that changed everything about Chad Townsend. We sort of had to bring in Chad Townsend, the partner Sandon Smith. Obviously, that didn't work out, and then Hugo Savala took over the reins. But I feel like DCE, and no disrespect to Chad, I love Chad as a person and a player. Like Chad Townsend, I think DC is a better player than Chad Townsend. So, but you're right, very similarity about age. You know, coming off a disappointing season, optimistic about it, but I just hope he doesn't. You know, but even if it does, even if he struggles, Hugo Savala comes straight back into the side. So that's why I think that for this season at least, we've got that reassurance of bringing back in Hugo Savala, who has proven that he can do the job for the Roosters. Not sure how I feel. We will not find out 100% until we play for the Roosters. 100%. I agree with that too. Like, there's obviously going to have our thoughts and feelings about it. We won't know we don't know if it's going to work straight. Even if he plays for the Roosters in the first, like, you got to remember as well, like, Cooper Cronk didn't hit the ground running at the Roosters. We didn't win like 8 in a row with Cooper Cronk and Tedesco at the club. We struggled in the first 8 weeks of the 2018 season. And then after Anzac Day, that's when we hit our stripes. You know, started building into a season. Trent Robinson is a coach that builds into his season. He doesn't hit the ground running. So, you've got to be patient. You've got to be patient with this. You know, it's, you know, if we're, you know, keeping, you know, I wouldn't say like win, loss. Just say we're like, I don't know, 10 rounds in, 6 wins, 4 losses, 7 wins, 3 losses. You know, not in the top 4. You know, be patient. Because after the origin period, I can guarantee you that's when we're going to be playing our best footy next season. And that's when DC is going to be at the peak of his powers. So you've got to be patient with this as well. You know, I can't really expect to see this hit the ground running from the word go. We're going to pay big time for this recruitment if reports are true that Hugo's testing the market, says Gina. Yeah, like, obviously come out today that Hugo Savala is obviously testing the open market. I might just move into that just for a sec. I got a quote up here from about Hugo Savala testing the open market. I'm not running away, but at the stage of my career where I feel I haven't proved myself capable of being a starting player in the halves in the NRL level, he said, I'm 23, not 19 or 20. I've worked extremely hard to get where I am. Despite confirming his plans to look around, Savala didn't discount the weather knowledge now on offer with Daly Cherry Evans' arrival. The boyhood Roosters fan said he is willing to fight for his place in the side just as he did this season. I'm sure I can learn plenty from DC and I'll knuckle down and compete for my spot with the Roosters, he said. You never know what may happen. So I still believe what is going to happen with Hugo Savala, where he's going to either transition to a 13 or a 14, but he's going to test the open market to see what he's worth. Like I said, he's still on a development contract with the Roosters, so he wants to go out there and see what he's worth. Like, and apparently, before we jump on there tonight, I heard a rumor that apparently the Titans were interested in Hugo Savala, but he knocked him back because he wants to play for this club. I don't think that he's going to abandon the club, but I know it's a tough situation for Fluff, and you know, it feels like a slap in the face. He's like, well, what about the hard work I did this year? I got us in the finals. You know, I picked myself. I picked a side up. Myself and Sando, we managed a side to get us into a final position. Sam Walker come back. We partnered well together, and then now we're going to sign DC. So I get where he's coming from, but it's just got, you know, it's a patient game. Honestly, I'm sure the club will be having good conversations with Hugo going for long-term success. So I don't want him to see him leave, man. Like, I love Fluff, but, you know, I get nervous when it's in the media, that's for sure. Henry.bear1 says, don't love it, but we trust in Robbo. Jason Alexander, not a big fan, but in Robbo we trust. Lachlan Butler, love it. Provides much needed experience in an elite game manager. People will realize very quickly how much he's going to help us win. 100%, like 100%. And you might see early indications, but towards the back end of the season, I think we're going to be, that's when DC is going to sign in the big game moments. So, like I said, from the word go, like 300 plus games of experience, and it's going to help us long term as well, short and long. He's going to be sticking around for after he retires, hopefully, and providing the next for Toby Rodwell, Hugo Savala, Sam Walker going forward. Will DC be 6 or 7? I reckon he'll be a 6. And Sam Walker's team, he's a 7. Does he still get the car? I'm not 100% sure of that, to be honest with you. I didn't see the full article about it, so who knows? Difference between Piers and Hugo. Piers was close to retirement. Hugo just started. Yeah, true. Hugo's 23, right? He's my age. So he's still got another 10 years left. But, maybe they see other plans with Hugo, but he's still in the plans of the club, but they might think of other plans. So it's hard to say what to say about it, but really optimistic about it. I'm still hopeful that he stays and has a future here, but not too sure where he goes. But all I know that from what he said just then in the statement there with obviously from the Daily Telegraph, he 100% is committed for the Roosters for at least 2026, and he's going to fight, scrap and claw to be part of the 17. And that's great to have. That's a great sign that he's not, sulking. He's not backing down. He's going to work hard, have a good preseason, and force Trent Robinson to say, you can't leave me out of this side. And that's great mindset from Hugo. And, he's not going to back down. He's going to fight for his spot in the team, which is great. Christian, my mate Christian, we can work with it. He says, yeah, 100%. Like I said, see the similarities, see what I can like about it, what I don't like about it. As long as we don't lose Fluffy because of it, I am okay. Me too. If we lose Fluffy and then we don't, and this doesn't work out, that's when I'm really going to let loose on it. But for now, optimistic, got to support him. Hopefully this works, and hopefully we don't lose Hugo. They're the two mindsets to have right now. Either it'll be second coming of Cronk or the second coming of Townsend, and Fluffy General bails us out again. Yeah, I think that's also the good thing to have. The fact that, we've got the reassurance if it doesn't work out, Hugo Savala's there. And at least for this season anyway. So just hope we don't lose Fluff. That's all I'm trying to say here. Not keen on it. Feel bad for Savala. Don't think he's a necessity. But if we win the comp, could change my mind about the signing. Me too. And I think a lot of people will feel that too. If it works, I think, like I said, I'll put my hand up and say I was wrong about it to start with. So I think a lot of people will be the same as well. Patrick Gillespie, how are you, my friend? I'm on the fence with this one, but looking forward to get behind him and support him as a Rooster. 100%, I am too. Like I'm, like I said, I'm being optimistic about it as well. But I'm really, intrigued to see how he goes. And as a Roosters fan, I'll be backing him 100%. So let's see how he goes. Preseason around the corner. Let's see how people are going to be saying about it. The Leaguey! Shout out to the Leaguey. Not sure about the player option for 27, but I don't mind going all in for 26. Yeah, me too. I'm the same as well. Leaguey, I didn't want to... I didn't like the player option to start with. But the 1 year deal, I would have been happy with. But a player option, that's really got Hugo, worried about his spot in the side. So, 1 year deal, perfect. But who knows? Maybe if we win the comp next season, he goes, that's done for me. But I feel like if we don't win the comp next season, that the player option will be activated as like, right, I'm going to finish what I started here. That's what I reckon. That's the player option, how I see it. But a bit of a risk to have him for 2 years. And mind you, he's going to be 37 as well, so the age is going to be definitely a question. I'll wait and see how he fits in. Experience is great, but don't want to lose Savala. I'm the same. Like, if I would have been all in on DCE if knowledge that Hugo is here long term. Like, the fact that there's uncertainty has got me worried about long term. That's basically my reasons why I don't like the signing, but I also have reasons why I like it as well. So, and lastly, I'll eat my words if he wins us a premiership, but don't know why we're signing a 37-year-old when we have a halves combo that's the future. Again, a lot of people are feeling that way too. Like, I agree with what you guys are saying there. With long term, he's 37 next season. Yeah, that's got to count to something. But but you've just got to trust what Robbo's doing. He's a smart coach, knows what he's doing. You just got to trust the club, trust the management that it works out. So obviously they probably would have had discussions about it, and they're happy with the decision. It's just now that hopefully it works out and we back him as Roosters fans should. But obviously people, 100% people will be like, yeah, if it doesn't work out. There'll be a lot of questions about it. But if he does work out, it'll be a master stroke from the Roosters, like I said. So, definitely 100% is a lot of optimism about it from the fan base. Like, just seeing comments from the entire day about the whole situation. A lot of people, are liking it. Some of them don't liking it. My light just went. Good thing I could see that reflexes. Lads. Hang on. But yeah. All right. Well, that's everything I've covered for at the moment anyway. What's with this? Need the light there, like. Oh my god. How professional is the Sydney Roosters Diehards, guys? Oh my god. Now I'm blinded by the light. Wrapped up like a douche. If it works out, I'll say Robertson would be the best at recruitment maybe ever. Recruitment 100%. Like, if in his career, right, if he goes and in his first season recruits Sonny Bill, Michael Jennings, James Maloney, wins a comp. 18-19 recruits Cooper Cronk, wins a comp, then recruits DCE, wins a comp in 26. I don't think anyone better. So all up in the wilderness at the moment to see how it goes. But if it doesn't work out, I reckon there'll be a lot of pressure on Trent Robinson to deliver next season as well. But I think obviously how well we went this year bought him some time, in my opinion. Obviously saw Jake Friend over in the US, obviously with the LA Roosters. Great to see him coaching over there, showing his knowledge of the game. Still got it, Friendy. But what a cool experience if you're, whether you're from, you're from LA, played college football, high school football, then you turn and play a bit of rugby league while you're over there, and have Jake Friend, and you learn about Jake Friend. You're probably like, who is this guy? Who's this? Small, built, bulky guy from Australia. And it turns out, his name's Jake Friend. And you search up Jake Friend on Wikipedia, and you see that he is dead set one of the best hookers the Roosters have ever had. 3-time premiership winner. He's won 2 as a captain, one of their finest ever captains. And his knowledge of the game and all that. And obviously he runs the academy now. Yeah, exactly. Definitely never heard of him, right? But then you look up and you see who he is. You'd be like, wow, this is pretty cool. But, yeah, what a cool experience if you guys are over there. And I'm actually jealous of those guys. I would love to have a coaching session run by Friendy. Like, that's it. And the way that, he was showing him how to tackle technique and all that, and then his knowledge of the game, it's inspiring. It was great. So shout out to the LA Roosters, and hope you guys enjoyed that night with Friendy. It'd be cool to see if there's actually any Aussies over there that were being a part of it. So, yeah, very, very jealous to see Jake Friend running a coaching session in LA. Who knows? Maybe next week they might get Dylan Napa. Then you're going to see some real shit. If Napsky goes over there and they go, oh, who's this guy? Oh, my God, he's massive. they search up Dylan Napa and they search up Dylan Napa highlights, and it's him just absolutely demolishing Sam Burgess in the 2016 game against South. Like, that's it. If you guys get, if the LA Roosters are watching, if you guys get Dylan Napa over there for a training session, get into a classroom or something and search up Dylan Napa's highlights against South in 2016 round 6, when he absolutely destroyed the Burgess brothers apart. That was his best game in the NRL. And shout out to Napsky, absolute legend of a bloke. It was so funny. It was cool to see Jake Friend over there, but Napsky's the GOAT. Matthew says need to be on Spotify. Well, that is in the plans. We're going to be definitely turning this into obviously a daily podcast. As soon as I know how, once we get some numbers on here, at the same time, and then obviously learn how to do it. And that hopefully within the new year, we'll have it on Spotify for your daily episodes as well. Because someone did ask me yesterday as well. And you're right. Be good to listen to for on the way to work if you love the Roosters that much. 100%. I do it as well. Like, shout out to a good friend of mine, Nolo and Clacker from the Roosters podcast. I listen to their stuff all the time. I actually enjoy their content. So, and I do delivery truck driving. So I'm in the truck all day. So I listen to all these podcasts like Bloke, Hello Sport, the Roosters podcast. So, and I'm sure that's definitely in the future. And that was you, Matt. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so hopefully they are in the plans. So 100%. Hopefully within the new year we'll get that sorted for you guys. Happy Friday, bro, says Dan. I'm really scared about them. Talk about Hugo Savala testing the market. We need him, bro, long term. 100%. And from what I've heard as well, that he's going to test the open market to see what he's worth. So that's what I'm leaning on at the moment. He loves the club. He doesn't want to be anywhere else. So that's got to count to something. So wait and see. But from what I'm concerned, that DCE, Hugo Savala will be a Rooster in 2026, bare minimum anyway. So we've got some time up our sleeve to work something out. Top Chook says, I'm not sure why, but I'm super stoked about DCE. I just feel something special about this whole decision. I feel it too, Top Chook as well. I do. I like I said, I feel the similarities of the Cooper Cronk signing. Like, I feel like this can work, and this feel something special about it. You look at the spine for next season. Tedesco, Sam Walker, DCE, Reece Robson. Premiership winning spine activated straight away. So that's why it feels special, because it's a generally premiership winning roster we have. So it's just getting it together and owning the big moments next season. The main important thing in preseason is hold that fucking ball. The simple as that. Discipline and hold the ball. If we get them two right, who stops us next season? That's all I'm saying. Definitely one player you'd never see wear different colors. Kind of like Cam Smith right now, even though it's a coaching gig. It'd be like the same thing with Minicello. Like, imagine seeing Minicello in another jersey. Or, I think Melbourne fans thought that too with Cooper Cronk. And don't get me wrong, in 2022, Adam Reynolds and Broncos kit may be sick. Even though, why am I saying that? Like, it just didn't feel right. That's the word I was trying to say. It feels like he's fucking played for South. Anyway. Even if it's just yourself talking more, love it. Thanks, bro. Really, really good. How's the Pepsi? Good, mate. I get a sore throat. Been on here for nearly 54 minutes, guys. So, and it's not like a podcast where we've got 4 or 5 guests on. It's just myself talking to everyone. So, I need the refresher to clear the throat, guys. So, yeah. Anyway. Not sponsored or endorsed by Pepsi Max whatsoever. So, even though, what's Hugo worth? No more than 400/500 maybe. I reckon nothing more than 500k at least. Love the guy, but he isn't proven, and Rodwell was coming through anyway. So what happens when we have Hugo Savala and Rodwell there? I think Hugo will walk. I think he will transition into a lock /14. I I reckon a lock, long-term lock. Rodwell's a long-term 6. That's the way I see it with Sam Walker. And then obviously a lot of questions about Sam Walker when obviously he'll come play a contract again. When, as per usual, gets linked with the Queensland side because he's from there. So interesting. Bro, this is actually a good way to spend a Friday night. Could you not loving it, bro? Thank you, man. Appreciate it, Dan. And I love being here too. It's good to interact with you guys on a daily basis. Because like I said, I love this club, I love this fan base, and I generally want to connect with you guys. And want to hear you. Obviously, I've got my thoughts about the club and about the decisions. I actually want to hear your guys' thoughts. And that's why I decided, obviously with the Diehards page being as good as it is so far in the first year, I wanted to expand it to the YouTube, and that's why we're here. We've been here for a week now, and we've gained over 30 subscribers on the tube already. So thank you guys for your support. But yeah, it's great to be here, and thank you for joining us each day. Really appreciate it. I know Jake's been here nearly every day, so enjoying it. So thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully we continue to grow it. He's 29. He's 29 years of age, Watto. He's born 96. So still got a couple of years left, at least another 5. We're nearly at the hour mark, so might almost wrap things up here. Matt says, how do you see Spawn 27, 28? 27, I see Teddy, 1 more year, Hugo, Sam Walker, and Reece Robertson. 2028, I see Max Jorgensen, fullback, when we sign him back. Hopefully we get him from rugby after the World Cup. Max Jorgensen, ideal spine I'd like to see. Max Jorgensen, Toby Rodwell, Sam Walker, Reece Robson, Hugo Savala 13. That's where I see it. 2028, Toby Rodwell will be around about that 22, 23 mark, so be ready for first grade. And he's been around the setup for around 4 or 5 years but by that point, so yeah, that's why I see it. Like I said, I think Toby Rodwell will be the long-term 6. Hugo will be a long-term 13. That's the way I see it. All right, I think that might do us, lads. We've been on for an hour. Wouldn't mind getting Mark back to play fullback. Yeah, Jake, I think the best way about Marky, the only way we're going to see Marky Mark back in the the Roosters is that he's a fullback, because he's obviously he played wing the last year and 2. He was obviously a great winger. Don't get me wrong, one of the best wingers in the game at the moment. But the amount of money that he's going to get from rugby, we just simply can't match that when he comes back. We can't really afford $1 million for a winger. So I reckon when Tedesco retires, Marky Mark at fullback on Tedesco's money around that $1 million mark would see sense, but not $1 million for a winger. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but like I said, I still think that Marky Mark will be definitely 100% coming back to the Roosters in the future sometime. Don't know when, but definitely within the plans. Suoliti, Joey Manu, I'm still optimistic about it, but Marky Mark are more safe out of the 3 I mentioned, and hopefully Max Jorgensen with that Roosters connection. His father, Peter Jorgensen, played for the Roosters in the 90s, so has a relationship with the club. Potentially see him as a fullback going as well. All right, that'll do us, lads. I reckon. On for an hour, so where I wanted us to get to. So crazy. We spent a whole hour discussing one topic. That's unreal. That's awesome. So anyway, obviously we might be back tomorrow. If not, we'll be back Sunday, doing a bit of a recap from the Pacific Championships in the Ashes. I'll be on the United podcast tomorrow night for the final test of the Ashes. So might see you guys there. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Probably, unless anything major pops up tomorrow, probably won't be on tomorrow. And obviously come back on Sunday, have a little bit of a weekend wrap up and review the Pacific Championship for you guys on Sunday. So, yeah, so we'll have the night off tomorrow and then back on Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. And if you haven't followed the Instagram already, feel free to do so, where we see your latest news and opinions about the Sydney Roosters. Thanks for watching, guys. Get out of here, and I'll see you guys on Sunday night. Thanks for watching. Up the Chooks.